Okay, prop the mic here. How's it going?
You'll notice both of us forewent the hats.
We did. This is a big change here at Prop the Mic. You're sporting a nice fresh cut. Mine's a little wild here, but looking good, looking fresh, Dave.
Yeah, I think so.
Got a dreary. What?
That's a really good sign for us. That we're both aligned on the look. So
Here on a dreary, rainy morning in Los Angeles.
Oh, really?
Fun.
It's like 60-something degrees in New York today. It's
really?
fantastic.
Oh, we switched weather.
Thank goodness.
Yeah. All right.
Before we got a big slate tonight, so I really want to do more NBA Top Shot, but we'll save that for later in the week.
Okay. Yeah, we'll save that
so
for
much fun.
the Thursday small slate.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
So before we go into tonight's big slate, we're going to cover, I think, 6 games. But just want to call out one game from yesterday. Giannis put up a career high 55 points. So
Yes.
what I did was I wanted to compare what it takes for Giannis to get 55 points, because I was kind of surprised that he's never done that before, like with the volume of scoring that he does. But, we always talk about Giannis like having to work hard for his points. So I compared his 55-point output to Clay's 54-point output the other day.
Yeah.
So let me read you how two players can go about getting 55 points.
Okay.
So Giannis was 37 minutes, 15 for 16 from the free throw line, which is like
pretty
amazing
good for him.
Yeah. 0 for 3 from the 3-point line.
Busted my parlay there with that one.
And 20 for 33 from field goal. So
Okay.
shooting almost over 60% and nearly perfect from the line. All hard work. Clay, on the other hand, 54 points in 46 minutes. I think there was overtime in that game. 2 for 2 from the free throw line.
I was going to say, did he even get to the line?
10 for 21 from the 3-point line. He attempted 21 threes. 21 for 39 from field goal. So he shot almost a little over 50%. So much more efficient way of getting to 55 by Giannis. But
Yes. Interesting.
But
Nice.
Clay clearly can repeat that because he likes to jack up a lot of threes.
Nice to look at. I'd also like to just call out, if you had listened to the pod yesterday, I did point out Giannis 40 points, plus 240 as an excellent play last night. And that obviously cashed. So
yeah, so now we're posting our favorite picks up on our Twitter account. Prop the Mic is the handle. But we're also obviously got a lot more plays on the
and some of
pod,
the bigger
so.
odds. Obviously, we're going to put up on Twitter the more of your straight lines. But you gotta listen here for the real juicy ones.
The juicy ones, yeah. And also the analysis.
Exactly.
Half the fun.
Exactly.
All right, so let's dive into tonight's slate. We got the first game we're covering is the Pacers at the Sixers. Pacers are 21-17 on the season. They've been a little hot lately, trending in the right direction. Same for the Sixers. Sixers are looking good of late, 22-14. Very good team at home as well, 15-5 at home. Sixers are -7 in the game. Total is 232.5. Sharps didn't have a take on the game, but they liked the over. So
I think it's because Embiid's questionable. I saw all the props, they were up earlier, and then they all went off the board. I guess he must have just came out as questionable. So these, they just tread lightly with these, because these, at least the picks I have for this game, I had researched before this Embiid news. So these lines can be slightly different now. Yeah,
same here. I mean, I see the lines for Harden are up. I see most of the players are still up. But yeah, Embiid is now, and Embiid's still up.
They do have they have lines back out, because I checked about 20 minutes ago and they were still only in the Indiana lines.
Oh my, Embiid's point line is 33.5. So not only is he expected to play, but he's expected to crush the Pacers. But go ahead. Let's Oh, and also, if you notice, we posted up on Twitter earlier today, kind of what the best matchups are. So for the day, and that's based on historical performance that Tom usually covers on the show. So
yeah, just to give people a head start on the day, on your morning commute or whatever. You're itching to get a couple bets in or something. You have some players to target.
Yeah.
And these are typically where I
personally enjoyed it because I was referencing that a bit as I was doing my analysis on my pick. So,
all right, you're welcome.
So good work. All right, so what do you got on this one?
All right, one of the best matchups on the board are combo guards against Indiana. They're number one target on the full season and over the last month. So this is definitely a place we're going to want to look. Philly's got 3 guys who fit that profile: James Harden, Maxey, and DeAnthony Melton. I didn't see any props out on Maxey yet, so not sure. He has been back and playing, but I just haven't seen. I didn't see anything this morning, so I got nothing on him. But I got Harden and Melton. And then I also want to point out, over the full season, they're definitely in the top half of the league. But over the last month, Indiana has been the number one team to target forwards against. So I also took a look at Tobias Harris in this one. And I got nothing. Philly's good defensively. I'm staying away from anybody on the Indiana side.
Yeah. You got a good matchup here of some of the 2 best assist guys in the league with Halliburton and Harden. So
yeah.
that could be interesting. But
yes,
I have a feeling your plays are going to be around Harden.
Yeah, you are right. I like Melton. I do like him as a player. I have a nice little play on him. 10.5 points. It's -122. He's done it in the last 8 of 10 games. He's also done it in his last 8 of 10 at home, including 5 straight games on 1-day rest. And if you look at his last 3 games against the Pacers, he had 11, 19, and 18.
Cool.
Yeah, so it's a nice one.
I like that.
He is actually the only guy on the Sixers this season who is classified as a combo guard this season. So he would be the prime target here. Just the playing time is a little dicey right now, though I'd like it more if Embiid didn't play, but it seems like he's gonna. Okay, and then Harden. If you look at his game against the Pacers on October 24th, he was 1 rebound shy of a triple-double. So I think this is a great spot in a great matchup to take a flyer on a +700 Harden triple-double tonight. So I wanted to throw that out there. He also had 5 threes and 2 steals in that game. Excuse me. But where I'm looking at him tonight is just his points. It's 21.5. I like that. Where did my stats go here? Hold on. Sorry. Sorry, I lost my spot here. I actually like him at 20 a bit more. He seems to get to 20 a lot. So I have a feeling what I'm leaning to in this is a 20.8 assist parlay for Harden. But it's not available to put together on FanDuel yet. But I think that's where I end up. But I do like him for the points tonight, given the good matchup.
So I knew you were going to play Harden. So what I did is I put together a parlay on Harden, trying to predict what you would play. I had like 20 points.
Yeah.
8 assists.
There you go.
And I was going to stop there, but that was like -130, -140, something like that.
Okay.
So I put 2 threes in there, and that got to, I think, -110.
Okay.
7 out of 10 games, he's hit 20 points. 10 out of 10 games, he's hit 8 assists. 9 out of 10 games, he's had 2 threes. So the 2 threes is kind of like a free kicker, but you get 30 points of value out of that. I think it was good.
I like that he had 5 in that game back in October against Indiana. So, all right. You did my work for me. Thank you.
No, I'd like to see if we land in the same place.
That was good. We almost did. Very nice.
So what of those 2 plays do you like better? You like the parlay, or you like the just the straight up points, 21.5?
Do I like the parlay or the points? I think I'm leaning towards that parlay. I think I like that parlay actually.
Okay.
I like my reason, I think he gets over this number tonight, get with the good matchup in terms of points, but I just feel safer at 20 points, and I think that's why I'm leaning that way. The 22 scares me a little bit, though I think he probably ends up with like 26 or 27 tonight. But
the thing about Harden is he gets to the line a lot. So
yes,
he could just be off, and then all of a sudden he'll go from having 12 points to 18 to 20 in a matter of a couple minutes. So
especially against a young team like in Indiana.
He draws a lot of fouls.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the other one I wanted to note is the forwards against Indiana, number one matchup over the last month. So I'm always a little nervous playing Tobias Harris because I feel like he usually lets me down, but I just can't pass over this spot. If you look at his last 4 games against Indiana, scoring wise, he had 18, 18, 17, and 32. And his line tonight's 14.5, and it's plus 100. He's also done it in 8 of 11 games on one-day rest at home this season. So that's nice. Also to point out, his rebound line is 5.5 rebounds. His last 4 games against the Pacers, 8, 4, 6, and 11. He's done it in 13 of 17 home games this season, and 8 of 11 on one-day rest. So that might even be a nice parlay to put together. You take his straight lines, you'll get around plus 250 if you put 15 points and 6 rebounds together for Tobias tonight. So I like that.
All right, good. So you're big on Philly tonight.
The Pacers are they give up huge games. They're one of the best teams to target. Detroit, some of the best teams to target in the league.
Yeah. The only other play, which I'll probably throw out at this point, given Embiid's status, I just liked his assist line, over 3.5 assists. We talked about the 2 big guys yesterday that we would play assists on.
Mm-hmm.
So he's had over 3.5 assists in 6 of 10 games. But in his last 3, he's been averaging over 6 assists a game. So,
okay.
So he seems to dish the ball quite a bit.
He does.
But I also feel like Harden is the play on this game.
Yeah.
But I like that Melton one too.
It's a nice low line. I like those low lines.
All right, let's move on. We got the Spurs at the Knicks. Spurs are 12-25, fairly wretched season going on. Knicks are 20-18. Knicks are minus 9.5 in this game, and the total is 226.5. Sharps are on the Spurs plus 9.5 and the under.
All right.
Vassell was a question mark for this game, and Barrett is out.
Barrett's out, yeah. So the Knicks are pretty good defensively. Not on the full season, nothing was actually popping in terms of position to target. Over the last month or so, you could target. They were the number 4 team to target wings against. So that would be Vassell and Keldon Johnson. But I didn't end up landing on anything there. The matchup that we really like here is combo guards against the Spurs. They're number 5 on the season, number 4 over the last month. So that's Brunson and Quickly. I don't know what it is with Brunson. I couldn't find something. I mean, it's a good matchup. So if you want to just kind of take his points and take the over on that, but I don't know. It's a little too much volatility there for me to really love a play. So I ended up with nothing on this game, but that is where to target if you're gonna.
Okay. Yeah, so I had a different play. So we both use props.cash as a tool for kind of visualizing historical data.
Yep.
They had some recent changes to the site where you can actually see streaks and things like that, which I thought was cool.
Very cool.
I was playing around with that today, and I noticed that Randall has crossed his projected 3-point total, which is 2.5. In 6 straight games. During that, so it's juicy, minus 145. But in those 6 games, he's had 9 attempts. And when these two teams played just a few days ago on 12/29, Randall had 6 threes against the Spurs. So I think there's a lot of value in Randall 3-3s. There's probably value in maybe even doing a ladder, getting him at 4-3s, 5-3s, something like that.
I like that. I didn't point it out, but on the season, San Antonio is actually the number 2 team to target big men with. So yeah, it does fit. They've fallen off a little. They've fallen out of the top 5 over the last month, but definitely good play season wide. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know what Randall's splits are between home and away, but it does feel like he probably shoots a lot more threes at home.
Probably.
So, all right. So moving on from that game, we got the Nets, hottest team in the league. Mm-hmm. So my son is a Celtics fan, and my daughter is a Nets fan. So I was looking up the records last night because one of them asked me. And actually, I come to find out the Celtics have the best record in the league. Number 2 in the league is the Nets.
Wow, they've been on some run. Wow,
some run, 25-12, and they're probably even closer now since the Celtics got blown out last night. They're playing at the Bulls tonight, who are 16-21. The Bulls are at home, getting 4.5 points, which is crazy. Total is 235.5. And the sharps were on the Nets -4.5 and the under.
Before I get into this, I just have to find out how did he become a Celtics fan? Was it Jason Tatum?
So it started with his favorite color was green.
Okay, that's usually a lot of times how kids lock on something. Yeah.
So I showed him the Bucks and the Celtics as his choices, and he came to find out that Jason Tatum played for Duke. So he's
okay. There you go.
So that was the origination there.
Nice. Okay.
Not a bad team to follow either.
No, for sure, and especially as a young emerging NBA fan, they seem to be a good team to latch onto over the next few years for sure.
For sure.
Yeah. All right. So matchup wise, not a lot. Brooklyn, we spoke about this the other day. They've been actually very good defensively. No matchup in the top 5 full season or last month. But Chicago's got one of the best. Wings against Chicago. They're number 2 on the season, number 1 over the last month. So who is that? That's Durant's all over the place. He's been earlier in his career, he's a wing. He's classified as a forward or big now, but I still kind of look at him as a wing player because he's not guarded by like the opposing team's center usually. So I usually guarded by their best player, which is typically a lot of times a wing. And then you also have Seth Curry, Joe Harris, and Royce O'Neal, all wings on the Nets. So I got 2 quick plays here. Durant, straight line, 28.5 points, -110. His last 4 games against Chicago, he had 32 this season. Last season, 27, 28, and 38. It's a great matchup, and I just want straight points. I don't want to risk it with any sort of rebounds or assists here or anything.
Yeah, he's all over the place. I think he had like 8 or 9 rebounds when they played just a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah,
but yeah, his assists and rebounds are kind of like all
very
over the
volatile.
place.
So I just want to. He's going to do the scoring tonight, the heavy lifting. I think.
Yeah, you think so? Kyrie's
It's the 30-point. Yeah, Kyrie's going to
step back for a minute.
Yeah, and they got Alex Caruso's a very good defender, and he'll be on Kyrie. So I like the matchup with Durant. If he goes to the rim, he's got Vooch guarding him there, who can't protect the rim for anything. So yeah, I like that. And then a quick little one on Royce O'Neal, 8.5 points. It's -105. He had 20 against Chicago on November 1st. Yeah, he's done it in his last 5 of 6 games and 7 of 9 on the road.
Love it.
Yeah,
that was my play as well.
Oh, nice.
Royce O'Neal, 8.5. It was -105, so good value.
Yep.
And like you said, 5 of 6 games. He's been averaging 12.5 points in the 5 games. That's the only other.
Well, we know one that's going up on the Twitter.
Oh, yeah. I just like Royce O'Neal. I don't know. Maybe it's his name or something like. I just like him. I always liked him. So we're going with Royce today.
All right. You got anything else for this game?
No, that's it.
No, that's it for me, too.
I'm a little cautious on Durant just because his scoring has been down. But
I think it's because Kyrie's been up. That's why. Yeah. Right? I mean, Kyrie's been super hot.
And they've been blowing people out, too. So.
That is a concern, yeah.
I bet his minutes are down. I don't see them blowing out the Bulls at home. but I do see them winning by 4.5.
Hope for a big game from Levine or DeRozan to keep it close.
DeRozan is just a beast. He's tempting to play on the other side, but
the guy wanted to play for the Lakers, and the Lakers passed on him to trade for Russell Westbrook. Could you imagine? That's exactly the type of player that the Lakers need, is a guy like DeMar DeRozan. But anyway,
yeah, Lakers have made a lot of bad personnel moves, like Brandon Ingram too.
Yeah.
All right, next one we got Houston at New Orleans. Houston's 10-27. New Orleans is 23-14.
Mm-hmm.
Huge blow for New Orleans. Zion is out now 3 weeks. Ingram continues to remain out. So they got their 2 stars out. It'll be interesting to see how this team kind of weathers the storm. They've been doing a good job of dealing with it with Ingram being out. But that might be a bit much.
2 heavy hitters. Yeah.
And yet, with all those guys out, Larry Nance out as well, they're -7 in this game against. So they got just what the doctor ordered, was a matchup against Houston.
That's true.
At home. Makes you wonder what the spread would have been if Zion played, probably like 12 or 13. Sharps are on New Orleans, -7, and the over 229.
All right.
I think we're going to have the same play on this game, too. Let's hear what you got.
Something was really popping here, so I
don't think it was one of the 2 guys, though, that you called out.
Oh, really?
You liked McCollum and Alvarado?
I did. That's like the prime matchup, but I have another one that was that's pretty good. So,
all right, let's see what you got.
All right, so just to talk about the matchups, Houston, they've been a top 4 point guard target over the full season and over the last month. I think there were 4 on the season, 3 on the last month. So that's CJ and Alvarado. I hardly ever see props on Alvarado, that come out before game time. So CJ is the guy we're going to have to look at here. And especially without Zion in the lineup, but CJ he's the point guard, basically, right?
Yeah, he certainly would think that he would have a big game, but
yeah. And then over the last, this is the one I liked quite a bit. Over the last month, Houston's been the number 4 forward matchup, and they got 2 guys that are going to get some extra run tonight with Zion out in Herb Jones and Trey Murphy. So those are the other 2 guys. I see a agreeable nod there.
One of those.
Let me hit my CJ right here. There's so much juice on it, so I don't love it for that reason, but him to have 3 threes tonight, it's -175. He's done it in 9 of 10 games and 6 straight games without Zion in the lineup. So it seems like a no-brainer. It's just you're paying a lot of juice on it. So if you want to add a little kicker to make it not so painful, you could put it with 6 assists, and you get -110. He's had the 6 assists in 7 of 10 games, and going up against the Houston team where he's playing point guard. I think this is that's not bad. You can bring it up to 8. What? Go ahead.
No, I would also consider throwing somebody to get a steal as the second leg of that if you want to bring it down. Just given how terrible Houston is at handling the ball.
Yeah.
Probably the best candidate to throw in there would be Herb Jones to get a steal, which I'm sure is probably -300.
Yeah.
I
think I saw it was like -240 or something like that. Yeah.
So that might also be another alternative.
The one other one I looked at was to have 3 threes and 8 assists, which he's actually done in 6 of 8 games without Zion this season. So 75% right there, and that's +183. And I have a feeling it's in a great matchup for CJ. That's still a good play.
It's doable, yeah.
Yeah. The other 2 guys I liked, like I said, nothing on Alvarado. Also, just to note, Houston allows the most 3-point attempts in the entire league. So that actually leads into my next play on Herb Jones to have 2 threes.
Oh, wow.
2 threes, not 1 3, 2 threes. He's done in 6 of 8, his last 6 of 8 home games. It's +180. Because if you just go for 1 3, I think it's also over -200, something like that. Yeah. So 2 threes he's done in 6 of 8 home games. His last 6 of 8 home games. So I like that. And then the other forward is Trey Murphy, 14.5 points. He's done it in 4 of 6 games without Zion, And in 3 of those games, he had 23, 19, and 22. So just totally crushed it. And the two games that he missed that line, he had 13. So he was only 2 away in those 2 games. So some extra run with Zion out. I like that play as well.
Yeah, that was my play as well.
Oh, really?
I liked, Trey Murphy. I liked it at over 14.5. I'm looking, it's already up to 15.5.
Oh, okay.
So clearly others
People are
on
on
it. The other way to go with Trey Murphy would be to play his 3-point line. If you don't
2.5 though, right?
It's 2.5, but in those 4 games without Zion and Ingram, he had 4, 3, 1, and 5. So
okay.
The reason why I laid off of that is because the volume. I don't think I have it written here, but I think he only averaged like 6 attempts in those. Yeah. So
pretty efficient.
Get 3, he's going to have to shoot about 50%. I don't really love that.
Yeah.
So I like his points better, but it is creeping up. So
okay.
Maybe try to grab it like 13, 14 and parlay it with something else that we talked about.
Or 2 threes. Put it with 2 threes.
2 threes,
points
yeah,
2
something
threes
like that.
Maybe.
Okay. Anybody else in this one?
That's it. I just could point out that on the full season, nothing pops for New Orleans in terms of matchups, but over the last month, they're number 3 point guard target and a number 4 big man target. So just something to look at if you wanted to try to find something on the Houston side, but nothing that was super appealing to me.
Yeah. I think as a general approach, it's good when you're picking your picks, your player props. It's good to figure out what the narrative of the game is first, and say, all right, who's going to dominate this game, and then kind of focus on that team.
Yeah.
As opposed to trying to nail picks on both sides every time. So
yeah. Seems like that's the way we've done most of today's games.
So far,
it's all been one-sided. Yeah.
All right. Last game, we got the Pistons at the Warriors. Pistons are 10-30. Also received some bad news. Marvin Bagley's now out for a couple weeks. That poor team is just can't get a break. Not to say that the Warriors are any better. 20-18. They have Curry, Kuminga, Wiggins, and Wiseman all out. Warriors are still -6.5. We talked about their home performance. They just continue to win. They've only lost 2 games at home.
Yeah.
Sharps are on the Warriors -6.5, and the over 232. So it's going to be a high scoring game.
Yeah. So this is after combo guards against Pacers. This is it actually might be just as good of a matchup, but big men against Detroit. Number 1 overall matchup on the season, number 1 over the last month. So that's Draymond and Kevon Looney, which is good because they have other bigs on the team like Wiseman and Kuminga that are out. So kind of narrow your focus there. And then
I think Draymond, I would be willing to say Draymond is the most versatile player in the league. Like based on the need of the team, he can basically flex up to a center or down to a point guard.
Oh, you mean like that? Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah, he can guard all 5 positions for sure.
Right. So with with Kuminga and Wiseman out, and even Wiggins out, who does a good amount of rebounding, he's definitely leaning more towards his natural position of power forward, center.
Yes.
So
yeah, Ben Simmons is supposed to be one of those other guys that can guard 1 through 5, but
at least he's playing. Give him some credit for
he is
showing
playing.
up.
Yeah. The other one that I liked in this was Detroit was the number 4 target for wings over the season, but number 1 over the last month. So I really like that. That's Klay Thompson. So I really like that, especially given the monster game he's just coming off of. So
and the complete green light that he has on just shooting 3.
Yeah.
Between him and Poole, they're like putting up probably 30 3-pointers a game. It's crazy.
Yeah. So I think given the matchup, I don't have a lot. 25.5 points is his line. It's -120. He's done it in his last 6 of 7 home games. I didn't dig too much more. I think this is a pretty good bet tonight. And so that's where I'm going in terms of the wings. And then the big men, I found something on both guys. So Looney, His rebound line, I've seen it at 10.5 at plus 110, and I've seen it at 9.5 at minus 150. He's done it both in 7 of his last 10 home games. So if you feel like paying some juice, take it at 9.5. If you want the plus 110, then 10.5. I think both are good in this game.
Okay.
Sorry. And then Draymond. 8.5 rebounds. It's plus 120. His last 5 games. There we go. Last 5 games at home: 13, 11, 9, 10, and 13. If you were you on that?
That was my play. I think it's insane value to get plus 120 for 9 rebounds. I just don't think they're properly accounting for Detroit's inability to rebound. Mm-hmm. Which is surprising given how many big guys they have.
I know.
I mean, Jalen Duren's a beast. Like,
they're all babies, though. I think but like Draymond just have his way with them,
right? And then I think they're not properly accounting for the absence of depth at the center position. So his last 3, I think you just said this around
13,
9.
11, and 9.
Yeah, 13, 11, and 9. So, and the previous game where Wiseman and Kuminga were out was when he had 13. So I think huge value.
Huge, yeah. And I also if you wanted to juice it up even more, it's not out yet, but if you when his adjusted lines come out, put it with 5 assists. He's done in every single game this season where Curry's been out of the lineup except the one. So you put those 9 rebounds or 9 rebounds and 5 assists together, it's a nice parlay. Just like I had that 2 nights ago, the Draymond rebound and assist parlay that cashed.
Yep.
Yeah.
Beautiful. That was my play.
Nice.
All right.
Are we not talking about Miami and Lakers?
No, we are.
Okay.
I ran out of space on my page, so I put them off to the right.
Got me worried. I got some nice ones there.
We're going to cover them now. That's actually the late night ESPN game too.
Nice.
So that'll be fun.
Yeah.
All right. So last game we got Miami at the Lakers. Miami is 21-18, I think, or 20-18, and the Lakers are 16-21. LeBron is just a monster of late, keeping this team afloat.
Yeah.
Lakers are getting 5.5 points at home. Sharps are still on Miami minus 5.5, and the over 229.5.
Nice.
I think that's it.
Okay. This was another good one for matchups here. Against the Lakers, point guards are number 2 on the season and number 1 over the last month to target. And forwards number 4 on the season, number 2 over the last month. So both trending in the right direction. Miami had been the number 1 team to target forwards at over the full season, but they've actually fallen out of the top 5 if you look at just over the last month. So that's why it's nice to look at those stats to compare and see some trends there. So that led me to point guards and forward for Miami. That's Kyle Lowry and Jimmy Butler. Let's start with Butler first. I got three props on him. I was liking Jimmy today. 4.5 assists, but it's minus 155. But he's done in 8 of 11 games on 1 day rest, 9 of 11 road games this season, and 5 of 6 road games on 1 day rest. So I really like that pledge. Don't love the juice. But I'll get to 2 others, and maybe you want to put these together. 2 steals, it's minus 130. He's done in 8 of 11 road games. But the 3 games where he didn't get to that, he didn't clear the 2 steal line, was against Toronto, Boston, and Memphis. 3 really great defensive teams.
Yeah.
So I like that quite a bit. He also had 6 steals against the Lakers when they played last week.
Wow.
Yeah, on Thursday night. So that's a great one. If you want to put the assists and the steals together, I think that's beautiful. And then this one I'd probably keep by itself, but his line of 20.5 points, it's minus 130. He had 27 in that game against the Lakers last week. If you wanted to parlay these together, I wasn't able to put it together yet, but I would bring the points down to 19.5. It's better for parlays, and you see 20 appear quite a bit on Jimmy's point output.
Yeah. Good.
So,
yeah,
right.
my only play was one of the ones that you just said. Butler 2 steals minus 130. I liked it as a standalone play.
Yeah,
I think the value's pretty good. 8 of 10 games, 7 games in a row. So that was one of the ones that popped on the screen for a recent trend.
Yeah.
The only other thing to add is the Lakers in their last 3 games have been averaging 19 turnovers per game. So they're generally like a middle of the pack team in terms of turnovers, floating somewhere around 14 or so for the season average. But recently they've been coughing the ball up a bit more. So I think that's a good play.
Yeah, I love that he had 6 steals against them last week, and especially now, like guys love playing in LA when they're out here for a road trip. So I think he's all over this. And then I got one on our boy Kyle Lowry here. So I think this might be the first time I'm doing a I don't know. It's been very few, but doing a par bet.
Okay.
All right. So it's 18.5 par. It's minus 125. In that game, he didn't play in that game against the Lakers last week, but when he played against the Lakers last season, he had 35. So that's pretty good. He's cleared 18.5 par in over 70% of his road games. He's done it in 13 of 17 games on one-day rest. And 2 of those games were against Toronto and Cleveland, also great defensive teams. So you take those 2 out, now he's done it in 13 of 15 games on one-day rest. So I like that as well. The point guard matchup against the Lakers is one of the best in the league this season. So.
Yeah, I like that a lot. And 229 and a half points is the total, so lots of scoring in this one.
And the reason I went like that on Lowry, like I was trying to find a single stat, but he's up and down across the board. But it seems like when one game his rebounds will be up and his assists down, so I figured this was a good way to mitigate that. Yeah,
definitely. All right, cool.
Nice work, David.
Yeah, I think we had a lot of overlap, so we're going to convene and figure out our best picks of this, and then we'll throw them up on our Twitter account.
Catch them on Twitter later.
Okay.
All right. I'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.